What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back for another player ratings video. Like we are gonna try to do always after a post game, um, and it's not for a win. It feels like a loss. I think that's the main issue of the game as well because it feels like we lost the game. We didn't. It's 1-1 against Bologna, but that's not the start of the season I think we all expected, or maybe expected, but needed. We needed something completely different. We needed something better, and we didn't get that. But let's go over the player ratings. I will do it like I did last week. It will change starting from September, the way I will do it. But as of now, I'll put up the back line because I will do them as a group. And before I get into it, as you can see, I already have my MVP and the worst player on the pitch in that back line, which was going into the season and the entire preseason my biggest fear that back line is not good. It's actually really poor, and it proved to be poor again this game, as it has been proven to be poor all last season, if we're being completely honest. So I give Perin a 7 because I thought he was good. I can see I did not change the minutes played for the players, so don't worry about that. But I thought he was good. He kept us in the game a couple of times. He did what he needed to do, so I give him a 7, and that's just sad that he's our MVP or my MVP of the game in a home game against Bologna, and it's only the second game of the season. But that's the harsh reality. It is what it is, I guess. So it's a 7 for me. Danilo, 5.5. He wasn't the worst at the back line. His passing is not good. His positioning at times is just not good, but he wasn't the worst in that back line. He didn't make any major mistakes, but like playing out from the back, giving it away too cheaply at times, and it's just like it doesn't fill you with great confidence. The entire back line. I give Bremer a 5. I thought he had a very bad game, very clumsy, unlucky game, whatever you want to call it. In possession, off possession, he wasn't in control at any given time during those 90 minutes. So it's a 5 for me because we expect a lot of from him. And a back three, I don't like him centrally. It's just me personally, because we're asking him to play out from the back. He's not good at it. He's just not good at it, and we're asking him to do something that will look very clumsy. Because he's not prime Bonucci playing it out from the back. Nobody is at the back. So 5 for me. Alexandro, 4. A terrible player. I cannot believe he's at the club, let alone starting games. Let alone that. Because pre-game he was talking about, I feel a trust from the club, the players, the group, and that's why I can perform well. Buddy, you haven't performed well for about 3 to 4 years. You stink. It is what it is. And last week he had an okay game, but I'm not gonna hype it up. You can hype it up as much as you want, but actually you don't really care about the club if you do. If you go game by game, you don't care about the club. And you actually want these things to happen, or actually you cannot be pissed about the things that happen because you're short-minded. And then you can live like this. You can say, oh, he had a good game, whatever, But if you look at the big picture, it's terrible, it's embarrassing that he is at the club and actually playing games, ahead of a guy, Ngati, who did very well towards the back end of the season when Sandro was horrible and he needed to come in and do a job. And then when Bremer got injured a little bit, it wasn't Gatti who was warming up, but Rugani. To top it completely off, just embarrassing stuff. So here we go. That's my MVP and my worst player of the game. So let's move on to the midfield. It was non-existent. Especially in that first half, it was absolutely not there. There was nothing. I give Wea a 5.5 because he didn't take on his man, and he had some opportunities to do it, and he didn't do it. He had a very unlucky game as well. Not defensively, wasn't poor, but going forward, he didn't. We couldn't get him into the game to use his speed, and he actually 1v1, he wasn't good. It reminded me a little bit about Quadrado. He didn't really attempt to do it. Had a few good opportunities and didn't took it for some reason. So 5.5. It wasn't a good game for him. Actually, it was a very bad game for him. Fagioli, 4.5. He wasn't good. Like I I wouldn't have started because I don't think he's fit enough. He was off pace. He was making weird choices. His positioning was poor, and maybe that's because he wasn't in sync, like fitness wise. Because he was leaving holes where he just needed to not overcommit at times, and I don't know what he was doing, but it cost us a couple of times in the first half. So 4.5, he was terrible. Locatelli, same thing, and don't look at the minutes played because I forgot to change them compared to last week. Locatelli, it's sad to watch him play at this moment in time. Like at this stage, it's it's not even not that it was ever funny, but like it's not even it will come good because at times he cannot even control the ball. He gives it away way too often. He makes stupid fouls. When he tries to switch play, is completely off at times. He doesn't win his duels. It's all over the place, and overall, it was shocking, and it has been like this for months basically. He's doing the basics completely wrong, and it's actually costing us, giving the ball away, excuse me, in very dangerous positions. In the build up, and not even when he's trying to like split the defense open or whatever. Like just easy passes that he's messing up at this moment in time, and like I just find it sad to watch. Like I'm gonna be honest here. It's just not fun to watch him play at this moment in time because it feels like he is just missing all the basics, let alone doing the fancy stuff. Just the basic stuff is going wrong for him. Rabiot 5, just a flat game overall. In the second half he was more involved, but like overall a very very extremely flat game. So 5. Cambiaso 5.5. Didn't have a poor game, but like couldn't impact the game like he did last week because there was no link up with Vlahovic, excuse me, with Chiesa, Miretti. I thought he was key last week in that first half. I'll keep saying it because that was not happening with Majorly, those link up plays on the left hand side. But Cambiaso couldn't get involved that much. Do I blame him? No, because he need those links link up. Excuse me. Defensively was sound, but like last week I was praising him and I gave him MVP and he deserved that in my opinion. But I also said before I will change my mind completely, I need to see a consistent run of good games. And I got called out. People saying, "Oh, you're spoiled." Still no idea what that means, because we're not. I've not been spoiled because we've been terrible in that position for like 4 or 5 years, whatever. But I need to see a good run before I'm like, "Wow, you're that guy." And today wasn't shocking, but it was not good as well. Like we need to be honest, it was very flat. It was very predictable. I think that's the word. The things he would try to do, but like 5.5, 5.5. Let's move on to the strikers. I give Vlahovic 6.5. He got two good goals. One, like Rabiot was there, but like it was taken well, and the second one is taken brilliantly as well. So I give him 6.5. His work rate is through the roof. Technically, it's not all perfect. It needs to be said. But I want my strikers to score goals, excuse me, and be there in the box when those chances fall to you. And thus far, he's done it. And that was a great header. And it got us a point we didn't deserve, but 6.5 for me. Chiesa, he wasn't in the game. He wasn't in the game. Tried to attempt a couple of take-ons. I don't think he even I don't think he succeeded at one. It was just completely off day. Like first touch, letting him down. In the second half, tripping over the ball when he's trying to dribble. Like it was just a complete off day. Couldn't impact the game. Could have played another 200 minutes. Wouldn't have impacted the game because he was not in it. He was not in it, and compared to last season, that was one hell of a drop off. But we're gonna need him if we are gonna want to go places and do things. And with things, I mean be respectable in the league. He's gonna up his game. Needs to up his game consistently, like he did in the first half against Udinese. If not, we have a big problem going forward. We do. But he wasn't good. He wasn't good. Maybe 5.5 is a bit generous, to be honest. When I'm thinking about it, he was really poor. Now let's go to the subs. those minutes, they are correct. McKennie, 8 minutes, gave him a 6. He was positive. He didn't change the game, but like he gave us something we didn't have the entire game on that right hand side. We're just mad because he's not a winger, but he was beating his man. He was getting those crosses in. He was running into good spaces. So I need to give him credit, and he had a positive impact on that on those last 15 minutes. And I said 8, but like he came in the 82 minute, and he had a positive impact in a position that's not his. So credit to him, I guess. Pogba 6. He's just quality. If he's fit, 24 minutes, that's already a miracle. But if he's fit, he's gonna make the difference. That setup for Junior as well. Like you cannot really budge him off the ball. Technically, he's unbelievable, and he sees things other does don't. It's as simple as that. He is the most talented player in the squad. But if you're not fit and you cannot play significant amount of minutes, you're probably not gonna have a big impact on the season. That's a big question. But give him a 6. Junior 6, and I will say what I've always said on Junior. It's not perfect. He's 19. He will try and try and try, until it comes off. And that's what I like about him. That's the drive I'm looking for. And that was a pen for me. It was, and I wouldn't have blamed it. Like, we wouldn't have lost the game because that would have been a pen. Like, we would have lost that game because we were terrible for 90 minutes. And we should have lost that game, Um, didn't beat this man consistently. Did it a couple of times, but he's a danger. Like he's a threat because he does things others don't do, and it makes it unpredictable. That cross was perfect, perfect, and it saved the point. So 6 for me, 6 for me. Which is the strange thing is that Kostic has played 0 minutes. He's getting the minutes when Cambiaso comes off, and still Junior is linked with a move, which unbelievable. I don't get because he's cheap, money wise. I cannot explain what is actually happening because he should stay at the club. Milik 5.5, and maybe that's a bit low because I thought he had a good game, link up play, he was good involved, winning the ball back. I thought he was good, not getting the goal obviously, but it was a more positive impact than last week and especially the last couple of months. But 5.5, Yildiz 5, picked up a yellow card, still no idea why, but didn't have time to impact that game at all. So just a standard 5. But overall, this performance is like a 4 for me because we needed 6 points and we didn't get 6 points. So for me, we missed the start of the season. It's not the start of the season we needed, wanted, and must have gotten. First home game of the season and you'd rather drop point against a mid-table team. That doesn't predict well for the future, and especially the performance, because that's just copy paste from the last 2 seasons, and that's an extremely big worry once again, because what are you going to change now? But that's it for me. Let me know in the comments how wrong I am again, which is fine. It's opinion based, obviously, but let me know. Keep it clean. Like the video, subscribe. I will be live tonight to recap the game with some guests. So stay tuned for that. And let's see, maybe something still happens on the transfer market today. Thanks for watching. See you tonight.